We've got some new models to talk about tonight. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. The beauty of dark walnut is what they're calling this new series. Just like Gibson.com has the exclusive dark purple series for the Modern Studio to the 335 SG Modern and a bunch of Les Pauls, we now have dark walnut. However, one of these on the screen is actually a big deal. And it's this guy right here. Les Paul Jr. double cut for $16.99. This isn't custom shop, this is Gibson USA. Outside of the custom shop, that model doesn't currently exist. The closest would be your $4,000 58 reissue, which, let's face it, not everybody wants to spend that kind of cash on a one pickup guitar. The closest thing was the Rick Beato double cut, which even though the TV Blue Mist has been discontinued, Gibson did recently decide to make more runs of these in the sparkling burgundy finish. But those are $2,000, have the Artist Association, and have a Nashville 2 pneumatic bridge setup and a satin finish. So get this, we can come over to a new one that appears to be gloss finished for $16.99. Sure, I'll put up with a dark walnut finish on that. That looks great. I'm gonna pick one up to review and document it. I'm excited. I wanted to come down here and verify that it actually was gloss. Yep. I wonder if Gibson got this idea from the Charlie Starr signature guitars that we just recently talked about. So whether you like the color or not, that is a big deal, having the historic layout of it with the wrap tailpiece coming back at all. I wonder if regular dealers are going to get their own colors of these, or if this is just Gibson testing the market. But other than that, we do have a standard 60s in a plain top, but you might notice that seems a little bit cheaper than we've seen in the past. $2,600, not too bad. I'm not sure if this photo does the colorway justice, but hey, it's a nice light brown color, which you honestly don't find too often on a Les Paul Standard in general, so this is kind of cool. They also brought it out to the SG Standard for $18. This reminds me of like an early 1970s/71 before they start changing stuff. Then the 70s Flying V joins that. I wish this one would have got the matching headstock. That would have made it way cooler in my eyes, because then you're really channeling 70s, but no dice on that one. Then lastly, they also threw it onto the 345. That is a very iconic color for these. So while most of those are, okay, cool, new color, that one's very exciting. But next up for tonight, Leo Scala returns with some crazy Theodores. If you're not familiar with that model, we've documented a couple of them, both within Gibson Custom Shop and USA standards. It's always been a model that's kind of divided people. A lot of guys have been calling for some more exotic colors for these, so this is Gibson and Leo Scala's latest attempt to maybe make some people happy. They're all priced at $16,000, so that's triple the custom shop versions, but our first one is gold. It's got this interesting swirly design to it. They threw a vintage style Bigsby on it. You've got almost that dog bone look going on here. Makes me think of like a pinstriped gold top. You've got all the aging going on, but you know what's kind of unique about the Theodore body shape is it does remind me of like a Fender Telecaster in a weird roundabout way. So a heavy relic on these, it doesn't look as out of place as I was thinking, but I really like the pickup covers and rings on this. And then we've got Scala's signature metalworking for our Gibson logo up here. We documented one of his Flying V's. If you're interested in seeing what this might look like in person, Gibson also produced a very long video about all these if you're interested in seeing them a bit more up close. But hey, that's interesting. On the back, they actually took all the finish away and just shaped it into a stinger. Okay, that was actually a nice touch. And then here's what the cases are looking like for these things. So you get the giant Gibson badge up at the top. They put the star. Looks like G&G are making those. But then they get overhauled as far as the exterior goes. The next one was called Custom 57, and it's sold. It has a little bit more of what Scala is known for as far as the really heavy aging and a bunch more metal work. So I'll give you a second here just to take it all in. I mean, look at your poker chip. You can go from one place and back. And even your switch tip matches the two knobs, but yet the tones are just like the aged of the originals. This one also has the Bigsby, but did you notice this? A, there's just a gaping hole right here, but B, it actually has the Gibson logo and the star. That's a nice throwback to 1972. And it looks like something might be hiding underneath our Bigsby arm right there. But the back is looking like this. It's got a 57 medallion. And some more aging and wear and tear metal stuff with a natural neck. And the continuation of that whole stinger design, I wonder if that's going to be a running theme through all 10 of these. Because so far, it seems to be. Number 3 was dialed back a bit more in TV yellow and is also sold. Now, as far as dialed back, I'm not talking about the aging job. That's still done up to the 10s. But our pickup covers were left alone. You just have a little bit of Scala flair over here. But no skull dudes on this one yet. But here's what the headstock's looking like on this one. But this one did not get a stinger. It was just left completely natural. which is kind of surprising that these were all the same price. Because in the past, there was tiers to these. I forget the exact numbers, but I think it was like 25, 35, and then there's like a 55. But this classic black, I feel like the aging is maybe a little bit more tasteful. But the custom pickguard on the Theodore doesn't look too bad. I wonder if they tasked him with this project to see if they could get ideas of how to make the Theodore more popular. The extra chunky pickguard, I think it does kind of work, but again, you get the continuation of that whole dog bone thing around your ABR1. But something about the pickup covers on this one really pops that it's actually a P90 humbucker combination. This one has a little bit less aging to the headstock, which I think is a good look, and still has your metal Gibson logo. But as far as the back, it's very similar to that TV yellow one as far as their colorings. But now macchiato white. He really did do something different every time, didn't he? So this one doesn't have a covered bridge pickup at all. It's uncovered, but it looks fine. But the pickguard doesn't seem as thick on these. But I really like the way that the rosewood fretboard matches perfectly with the mahogany neck. Everything else, yeah, it's more aging. But it's important to note that all these have the alder walnut alder body sandwiches like the original custom shop ones. I wish he would have revealed that walnut strip on the back with some of the aging process though. But this one's actually gold and aged. And cool, we've got the 50s style Kluson tuners on this one to give it more of like a 50s Explorer vibe. And the back pretty much more or less the same. But if you thought we needed some exotic colors on here, Scala did deliver on that front. So here's an electric purple version. And by electric purple, yeah, he wasn't lying. It looks like that's going to have a little bit of like a metal flake within it. But it was also dressed up with a Bigsby. I guess that's one way to make this guitar fancier. I would have loved to have seen one of these get routed with a Floyd Rose and have his attributes to it, because then it'd just be even crazier. But yeah, the purple doesn't look too bad on this body style. Something about those piercing white numbered speed knobs just looks a bit off to me. But this one has the button style tuner tips. And as far as the back is looking like this. But this one was called Gold Mist, which yeah, I do see a little bit of gold to it, but it nearly looks like it was just a blue finish that's like super aged. That's one of the really cool relic Pelham blues. But this is the first one we've seen with a cream pickguard like that. The combination of that with the black plastics oddly works on this example. That would be a cool color to see come into production. Because let's face it, most people aren't looking to spend 16 grand on a Theodore just to get the custom color. But the headstock on this one got a little bit more scratched up. But hey, here's a fun one, Pink Martini. Kind of like our green friend, you gotta go crazy on these. Put a little bit of a bait out, see if somebody takes it. And that was one of the first ones to go. So it's kind of this interesting pastel pink. This time we just went for the straight up black. You've got the covered humbucker. But again, Bigsby's thrown onto all of these, with the natural back of the neck and more paint on the back. And the small button style tuners kind of works with the color scheme. But old red here, yeah, looks like somebody got a little bit crazy with a blowtorch. But this is the first one we've seen with the zebra bobbin pickups. It's another one that has the cream plastics. Just because it's not my favorite doesn't mean it didn't appeal to someone else. But I do like the way that the knobs were aged to match the relicness of the rest of it. And it looks like you had some more fun on the back. Oh, and apparently more fun with the tuners. Some might say too much fun making them red. If you're going to make 10 of the same guitar with different ideas, you might as well have a little bit too much fun with one of them. And then lastly, just a straight up green one called British Racing Green. They really dialed back the relic job to this one. But oddly enough, it looks like they have some red staining to your pickups. And then just a single ply black. Interesting choice on that. This brings back haunting memories of the SG Robot series of 2008. But now my question is, since this has such little wear, like you can tell it's got some nicks and dings, did those just happen naturally throughout the process? And this was supposed to be the only non-aged one? Or is he just going for super light? Either way, we've got more button tuners at the top with natural necks. And don't forget, he's done Theodores in the past, like he had this blue one, and that red one probably took some inspiration from Code Red over here with its red tuner tips. But looking through the archive, I vaguely remember this one, but I have no recollection of Super Special. It's got kind of an interesting 335 pickguard to it. I like it. It's different. So I'd be curious, which one of these new ones was your favorite if you had to choose one? For me, I think it goes to the Gold Mist one. However, of his ideas, I really like the natural neck with the stingers and having color up top, and especially the one that got Kluson style tuners. Alright, Troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.